Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the April 21st update for Captain Stardust. This week we had 31 commits from 2 different contributors, which brings our lifetime commits to 159 from 8 lifetime contributors, and we just wrapped up week 7 of 21. This week we had Andy come in and do a lot of work. He fixed the city person walking on sidewalks so they rotate in the correct direction. He also added the fast travel functionality, where if you walk over a fast travel point, it will unlock it in the game. You can open it up in the menu and then click on that point and then be able to fast travel to that location. And then I went through and added the ability for cars to take damage from enemies and give damage to enemies, as well as integrated quite a bit of art around the dock, the university, the museum, the beach, and then the airplane hangar, and we'll see that in just a second. I added some mission blocks, so that way if the player walks through them, they unlock the next story beat of the mission, so that way we can just add to that individual mission as we're working through that in the upcoming weeks. And then I added so that the ground enemy can walk around and just fire randomly rather than only firing when it is looking at the player. So let's jump on over to the game. First, I wanted to look at the fast travel system that Andy had made here. So let's go ahead and hit play. So these are our fast travel points, these little gray indicators on the ground here. If you were to press the M as in map key, you can pull up an overworld of the map. It is an overview of it, and then you can slide on over with your mouse in different directions. And currently, we don't have any fast travel points unlocked. That's what this location up here does, so we can press close. And if we were to walk over this, and then press the M key, we can see the fast travel point appear on the map. And you can see the fast travel point appear there. And we can press travel, and it will confirm it to us, and then it will move our player right next to it. So let's say we travel to a different side of the map using our very fast speed here. And hopefully I can stick this landing okay without killing my player. There we go. And to a different fast travel point. We can walk over that. And now we have 2 different locations unlocked, so we can press this one or this one, and the map will jump to the correct one. And then you can press travel, and then you can go to it. So that is very exciting. Thank you so much for that, Andy. I also added some art around the island, so we can see the harbor area and the dock area. We have lots of different boats. We have a beach area where the citizens can just kind of relax. We have a university and a museum area, which is right over here. So there's our museum. There's our little university area with a couple of different buildings and adding the fountain that we had earlier. We also have a football field back here. And let's get on over to our airport, which is way over here. So we have a couple different types of airplanes and a couple different types of hangars. I guess it's just one hangar type. And then we can reuse the dock building over here as sort of like our airplane terminal. It's a very short runway, but I hope that doesn't really come into play. And I believe that is all of the art integration into the city. We're very close to having the art being completed. We have a couple of white buildings still over here on the right side of the island. And I also want to start getting these sidewalks integrated through the rest of the island. Right now they're all over the left side, but we're missing it in the center and the right side, so our citizens have nowhere to walk, which is dangerous. But I believe that's everything for the New Lincoln City side of things. If we jump on over to the sandbox side, I wanted to show how chaotic the world is kind of turning into. So if we were to duplicate these guys here, we can start to see that the enemies, when they are walking, will start to damage these different cars. So if we were to hit play, we can see that the sentry unit is just kind of walking around, and he's not really firing at anybody, just walking and then randomly shooting. We have these different muggers that are walking around, and we saw a car explode over there. We can pick up cars, and we can throw them at people, and then it should do some damage to our mugger there. And then if the car does enough damage, then it starts to smoke, and then again, if you were to attack it, then it will explode. And let's say we spawn in our little sentry turret. There we go. And I want to hide behind this car. Will you do that? So now cars don't really provide a lot of cover because they'll take damage from the different enemy types here. But the enemies will get damaged by the different cars, so there's just a lot of general chaos that can go on if the enemies start to run loose. So it's kind of neat. And I believe that is everything that we have inside of the game at the moment. There we go. So jumping on over to our Vikunja board here. That's the last item that we are wrapping up for this week is the video. Next week, we are going to clean up the last of the buildings there. I want to be able to work on a traffic system for the cars in the road. We have a people traffic system, but we just need the cars to work now. And then it'll be a lot of bug cleanup and a lot of like minor design work before we move into starting to work on the missions. So I believe in the upcoming future here, we have a little bit of audio work that's starting to pile up. We have some UI work that's going to need some work here in the near future. And then we also have quite a bit of code for our different world events and missions coming up. So there's still plenty of ways to get involved, but that is our weekly update for Captain Stardust.